You feel it, don't you? That quiet, persistent sense of being an outsider in a world that feels meticulously scripted for someone else. Like everyone around you received a detailed manual for life, and somehow yours went missing in the mail. People laugh, talk, connect, but there's always an unsettling offness to it all. Behind every confident smile, you discern a subtle tremor of fear. Beneath every boast of success, you sense an aching, profound loneliness. It's as if you see through the very fabric of reality that others comfortably inhabit, and you've begun to wonder if something is inherently wrong with you. But what if it's not a flaw at all? What if, as Carl Jung believed, you possess a rare form of awareness, a perception so sharp, so psychologically profound, that it gently, yet fundamentally challenges the very illusions upon which our modern world is constructed? Jung called it dangerous perception, not because it inherently harms others, but because it renders illusions impossible. This isn't a defect, it's a unique frequency. And once you truly grasp it, your exhaustion, your isolation, even your raw sensitivity will begin to make profound sense. Are you ready to see what you can't unsee? To know what you can't pretend not to know? Because once you perceive this truth, your world and your place in it will never be the same. Let's explore the signs that mark you as one of these rare individuals. Sign 1. You don't just see people, you see through them. Your perception operates on a frequency that would overwhelm most. You're not merely reading faces, you're reading energy. Their words might claim, "I'm fine," but their silence, their fidgeting, their very presence screams a different truth. While they recount tales of promotion, you simultaneously register the soul-crushing compromise it demanded. As they gush about a relationship, you feel the profound emptiness they can't vocalize. This isn't a skill you trained for, it's an innate knowing. But this knowing is heavy, because it transforms you into a mirror. And mirrors, as Jung understood, profoundly unsettle those who've dedicated their lives to avoiding their own reflection. That tension you often feel when you enter a room, it's real. It's their unconscious recognizing that you see their shadow, the parts they've buried and silenced for years. Your presence isn't aggressive, it's simply honest. It silently asks, "Why are you still pretending?" And in response, instead of confronting that question, they label you too intense, too deep, too much. But you are not too much. You are simply unwilling to participate in the collective denial any longer. This makes you different, not broken. It makes you rare. Sign 2. Superficiality drains you to the bone. This is arguably the most isolating aspect of your being. Small talk isn't just boring, it's physically and psychologically suffocating. It feels like trying to breathe through a plastic bag. While others contentedly discuss weekends, weather, or trending shows, your soul screams, "Why are we wasting this moment pretending not to feel?" You are wired for depth. You crave soul-bearing conversations where masks dissolve, where the true self emerges, and the questions, what actually matters? Who are we beneath all of this, and what are we running from, can finally be addressed. Jung observed that rare personality types live in constant existential tension. You are too awake to sleepwalk through life like most, yet too human to transcend it untouched. This is your paradox. You're starving for authenticity, while most people are addicted to comfort, not truth or growth. When you cannot or will not provide that comfort, they quietly pull away. This is not arrogance. it is pure survival. Superficiality for you isn't just tiresome, it literally drains your life force. Sign 3. You unconsciously absorb what others cannot handle. This is where Jung's insights venture into profound, almost spiritual territory. You don't just observe people, you absorb them. Not their words, but their weight. You take in their unexpressed rage, their repressed grief, their aching loneliness buried beneath forced smiles. You carry what they refuse to confront, and it quietly takes root into you. Jung termed it participation mystique, a merging of selves where personal boundaries dissolve and you unconsciously plug into the emotional current of the collective. For most, this happens occasionally, but for you, it's constant. That wave of depression that blindsides you, it might not be yours. That inexplicable rage, it could be the bottled fury of countless strangers you pass today. This is why you crave solitude, not because you're antisocial, but because you need the space to discern which pain is yours and which never belonged to you. However, here lies a subtle danger. This absorption can become addictive. When you are constantly fixing, listening, or drowning in other people's wounds, you can subtly avoid facing your own. One day you might awaken to realize you know everyone else's soul intimately, but your own has become a stranger in the mirror. Sign 4. The invisible war within you. This sign cuts to the core of your soul. You live an invisible war between your true self and the self the world expects you to be. Jung understood this torment. Individuals like you are born into fragmentation, not by choice, but by survival. Your authentic self is often too much, too intense, too honest, too deep for everyday spaces. So you learn to fracture yourself into carefully crafted personas, a professional you, a social you, a family you. Each performance is a small betrayal. Every time you dim your light, you abandon your nature. Every moment you pretend to be normal, you reinforce the lie that your essence is unacceptable. This internal split ravages your soul, manifesting as chronic fatigue no sleep can fix, unexplained anxiety, or depression that drifts in like a fog. These are symptoms the medical world struggles to name, but Jung called it soul fragmentation, the slow suffocation of your inner truth. Yet here's the paradox. The very intensity, vision, and unique frequency you hide are precisely what this unconscious world desperately needs. Every meaningful societal change, every breakthrough in human consciousness originated from someone who saw too much, felt too deeply, and could no longer pretend. This is your purpose, but you cannot fulfill it while scattered into these fragmented roles. Sign 5. You instantly recognize your own kind. This sign delves into territory that science still struggles to explain. You possess a secret antenna that only responds to rare frequencies. You meet a stranger anywhere, and within seconds, you sense it. A frequency match, a soul recognition, an unspoken feeling that whispers, "There you are. I've been waiting." Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, but this connection goes deeper. When you encounter someone operating on your wavelength, your entire system lights up. Time seems to bend, masks fall effortlessly, and you find yourself sharing truths you've never told anyone. And they nod, as if they've waited their entire lives to hear exactly that. These connections are rare, maybe one or two in a lifetime, but when they occur, everything you doubted about yourself becomes undeniably real. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are not alone. You are simply rare, and rare recognizes rare. However, once you've tasted this genuine recognition, superficiality becomes unbearable. Once you've been truly seen, invisibility becomes agony, and your soul develops standards that are not just personal, but spiritual. Sign 6. You carry a purpose too big for one lifetime. Your purpose isn't a career or a title. It's a fire in your bones. It awakens you at 3 a.m. with downloads too vast for language, feeling less like a choice and more like a cosmic assignment. Jung understood this profound burden. He wrote that individuated souls, those who have integrated their shadow and become whole, carry a sacred responsibility. They perceive the wounds in the collective. They feel what is unspoken. They carry visions for which society has not yet made room. You were not built to climb conventional ladders. You were built to